Hello, everybody. Welcome to Browns and Beyond, your home for Cleveland Browns content, NFL content, and other sports content. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you stay locked in with all the latest sports content. And most importantly, drop us a comment. We want to hear your thoughts. All right, boys, here we are after the bye here on a Sunday. The Browns and the Jets. Football is back in the air for the Browns. Dave, are you getting excited about this or what, buddy?
I am slightly pumped up. I only say slightly, Brent. I mean, I love football. I'm excited. I'm actually excited about the entire week of football this week. I think we've got some good games outside the Browns. We're going to talk about that today. I'm excited to see the Browns back. This isn't a dream matchup, as the NFL would say, between two. Steve has a name for games like this.
Battle of the Bad.
The Battle of the Bad.
This is one of those.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, the Browns are back. It's good to see them back on the field, and maybe a good opportunity to get a win today, guys.
Steve, you looking forward to some football, some Browns football? It's been a couple weeks out, right, buddy?
I know every team needs a bye. You got to get healthy, take a little break, spend time with family. But man, I'm just ready to watch them again. I mean, even if it's not good, I know. Watch my Browns.
There you go.
I don't think it was the same last week. Didn't have the same buzz. You know what I mean? It just didn't. So, all right, we're going to turn to Mr. Steve Retzer to get us started here. Steve, give us a little bit of a preview here of the Browns versus Jets. And how are you looking at this matchup? And give us a prediction as usual. And what do you have for us, Steve?
All right, boys. The Browns and the Jets are both really bad, and they're both coming off their bye weeks. This game is at MetLife Stadium. The Jets are coming off their only win of the season, beating the Bengals in a wild one.
It was a crazy one. But the Bengals have been on the wrong end of two wild games their last two football games. It's been crazy.
They're entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Bad defense and Flacco just playing out lights out.
He's playing out of his mind, but then the defense is giving it up.
They're playing a lot of Big 12 football circa early 2000s,
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, the Browns got blown out by the Patriots. The Jets, like the Browns, are racking up draft picks. They traded cornerback Sauce Gardner and defensive tackle Quinnen Williams.
Mm-hmm.
This alone could be in the Browns' favor.
Yep.
But the Browns will have to score points to win. I mean, it's obvious.
It's a thing.
It's the thing.
As a great man once said, it's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing, yeah.
With Tommy Rees calling the plays, we assume they may be able to do just that.
Yeah.
Well,
Dylan Gabriel has
we assume, Steve.
Right. We assume that was a good word.
Yes, thank you, Steve.
Dylan Gabriel has not played well, but it will be interesting to see if Tommy Rees calls a balanced attack between Quinshot Junkins running the ball and the Browns doing some play action, hopefully going down the field more often.
Where's your optimism, Steve, with that?
I think it's going to happen, guys.
Okay.
I think that, he's getting the calls. Now, Stefanski still has to okay everything.
Yeah.
And Stefanski will still get, if it's fourth down, he'll make the call, not Rees. But I think he will. Yeah, that's correct. But I do think.
How do you know that, or do you think you just kind of assume that?
They said that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Thank you, Steve.
Like a guideline. Rees is going to call the plays.
I think Belichick used to do that.
Yeah, a little bit with the defense. Yeah.
Remember that? He would kind of get involved when it needed to. Or
I think a little bit more so with Belichick was the defensive side of the
That's correct, but you know what I mean.
Right.
And some coaches intervene, but when it's a key play. Otherwise, it's business as usual.
You could always see, with just real quick on Belichick, with his when the Patriots' defensive game plans would come out, there was a lot of what he would do in the past when he was Giants DC, and his fingerprints would be a lot on their defensive game plans, even though he had an official defensive coordinator on the Pats. So, yeah.
Well said. Right, go ahead, Steve.
Guys, I mean, Cedric Tillman is questionable, but he's expected to play and come back from injury.
Your boy, Steve.
When he was playing, he scored one touchdown in two of the games he played before getting injured.
In Retzer's world, that's 6 touchdowns.
Well, Steve,
it felt like 6 touchdowns.
Well, Steve is still president of the Cedric Tillman fan club. I think you're the only member too, Steve.
And he doesn't have to bring the potato salad where you do to the reunion.
That's right.
He's like he can freeload.
Tillman's been going to car lots and. I don't know if anyone's showing up though.
How about
showing up to see him?
How about getting on the field and making some plays?
It's a thing. It's a thing.
We could use it.
Yeah.
He is capable of catching long passes, as we've seen it last year with Jameis Winston and Tillman. I expect him to be involved today. The Jets defense will be expecting Judkins to run it at will, and as we should. I want to see Jerry Jeudy get more involved and play like a number one receiver without dropping passes, by the way. Gabriel loves to go into his tight end, so I think he'll still be going to David Njoku. And then barring Harold Fannon's recent injury, as long as he's playing. But I thought I heard, did you guys hear, Fannin Jr. will be playing?
Yeah, I heard questionable this week, but I'm pretty sure he was going to go. By the way, continuing to feed into the dink and dunk narrative is the best receiver being the tight end.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a coincidence. He is their best receiver, so we have to be fair about it too, Steve. So.
I mean, it would be nice, though. Like, I mean, don't you agree, Dave, that Jerry Jeudy has to show up eventually? Like, this would be a game.
Well, yeah, I made a comment about it in my notes here that, yeah, I mean, eventually you would think this would be a game if the receivers are going to do something, especially where the Jets are situated right now, it would be today.
Yeah, I think this would be the day. Now, the offensive line is all healthy and coming off the bye week, as we should be.
I actually think we're getting better there. I think we're getting a little bit better with an offensive, and I still think in the offseason it's going to need to be addressed. But this offensive line, I think as long as they got KT Leverston out of there, that turnstile at tackle, I think it's gotten a little bit better. Conklin got healthy, which I think has helped.
And then Cam Robinson, like we both agreed, was good to get.
He's been decent. Yeah.
I mean, you're definitely going to have to draft offensive linemen.
And we talked about the interior being pretty good so far this year. It's not been great as it's been in the past, but it's been serviceable.
With the Jets trading their two best defenders, I'm hoping the line blocks and gives Gabriel time to throw the ball. I'll be cheering on Tommy Reese because I needed to see a change, boys. Even though I don't think Stefanski wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Don't you guys agree? He
kicking and
kind
screaming,
of forced
for
to
sure.
do it. Like I don't think he wanted.
Brent,
to do
this came from above.
Absolutely, it came from above, and I also believe that I think Stefanski, he's just been overloaded as a head coach, meaning he can't juggle the responsibilities and also be the OC.
Yeah.
This move had to be made. I felt like early in his career he could do it. It was a little more clarity. As time went on, it's very difficult. Only a few head coaches can do that, right, Dave?
Well, I've said it before. Yeah. When it's your calling card, Brent, when it's the thing you're known for, it's your specialty. So
you don't want to give it up.
You don't want to give that.
You don't want to give it up.
It's why he got the job. To be fair, Steve.
Yeah.
That performance in 2019 when he was OC, and he did a solid job with that 2019 Minnesota offense with Cousins and Dalvin Cook running the football that year.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think in that first year he recentered the offense. Obviously was a clear upgrade over Larry the Cable Guy, and it recentered the offense around Chunt, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and we had the offensive line built up, and it was the best version. Now, that was a talented football team that's ready to win, and now in a quarterback that was already kind of on his way a little bit, now he's got a rebuilding process, and, I'm putting a lot of it on him, but this thing comes also from the top down.
Oh, it does. It does. That's a good point, though. He's better with a ready-made roster.
Yeah,
he's not good with development.
He can keep the ship here. When it's good and the roster's good, he can keep he can land the
status quo.
He can land
the plane. Get a B plus. Good enough.
But being this coach, the upper echelon coaches that can turn water into wine and develop a young quarterback, which is really what I have doubts about him in. He's in a tough spot right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think he's lucky to have Jim Schwartz as defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Even though Schwartz is handling, in my opinion, all the defense pretty much, he's still having a rough time with play calling and other avenues of the game.
Sure.
So anyhow, I don't think Stefanski's job is as safe as it was with Paul DePodesta leaving for baseball. Basically being forced to turn the play calling over when you really didn't want to, looking for any kind of spark on offense. Shador Sanders is back to good health, and he will be the backup in this game. So watch for him to be ready if his number is called. Or I'm curious to see if they went to him for like a play or two. It doesn't sound like a Stefanski thing, but would Stefanski let Reese? I like that sometimes. Gabriel's getting all the snaps, but then Shador comes in. I don't know. It's on the 20-yard line, and he does one play or something, runs it or passes it. I'd like to see
kind of like
that.
help me out, guys, with the Saints. Remember the Saints quarterback that come in?
Taysom Hill.
The Hill.
That's
kind of like that.
Kind of
switch up.
Yeah. You guys know that every once in a while, a few years back, Stefanski would do something like that, bring someone.
Yeah.
But it's Shador, and I don't know how much he likes Shador. But I'd like to see that, even one or two plays. That'd be kind of cool, I think. The the Browns defense is among tops in the league, and I expect them to play well in this one, with it being, a low scoring game. It looks like the Jets are. I found in fact here and on the way here that Justin Fields is getting the start, not Tyrod Taylor, who was a former Brown. And the Browns will want to apply pressure to him. Myles Garrett should be after Fields all day. He should have a field day.
Quick note here on Fields. Any thought on Fields? I watched him play a lot at Ohio State. I always felt coming out that at best, I think he would have been like a serviceable NFL quarterback. I never thought he had like the high end like Stroud did, where he was built to be an NFL quarterback. Now, I do think Fields has been done wrong. Maybe Stroud is being done wrong by his organization right now, if you look at that offensive line. But I think Fields was put into such a bad situation in Chicago with the coaching, with the supporting cast, and that kind of set his career back a little bit. He did a decent job early in the season last year with the Steelers.
They did win games.
They won games, but he was just still more or less a game manager. He wasn't necessarily. Well, it wasn't.
Well, he reminds me of all the Browns quarterbacks we've ever had. A Colt McCoy, and go to the list of guys we've gotten since 2000.
Just really good college quarterbacks.
Yeah, now 99
couldn't make that transfer to the NFL.
Just not good enough, and with enough film, you can beat them. That's just what I feel.
Brent, I'll admit this.
Dark horse.
I did pick him as a dark horse in me and Brent's cast more years ago.
Yeah.
Well, because I hit Jalen Hurts right on the money. I picked him as a dark horse. So the next year I got to follow through and come up with someone big. I thought it would be Fields.
Yeah.
But problem was he had a defensive-minded coach.
And bad team.
Didn't help it. Bad team.
Yeah.
So that didn't help.
And you got to look at Caleb Williams. I'm not a fan of him, but he's making the best of his situation right now. But they do
got a better offensive coach.
Got better coaching,
and their supporting cast has gotten a little bit better.
So
and still but I'm still not there on Caleb Williams.
Me either.
They can go to Rome.
But don't you agree though that he's a tier above?
Well, I would say yes, he is a tier above. But I would also say when your two best games are against the Dallas defense and the Cincinnati defense, I got to see it against.
You got to see it against some top
better competition.
Okay, let's continue, Steve.
Well, the defensive line needs to stop star running back Breece Hall, who had a big game rushing last week, and even threw a touchdown pass. It was the game winner. Linebacker Carson Schlesinger is questionable. I don't like to see him get injured, guys. He's our rookie sensation.
Yeah, that's right.
Playing a heck of a year.
I heard he was practicing this week, and maybe there's a shot that he'll play. That'll be interesting to see.
I mean, he's a tough-nosed guy.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
So I think he'll be okay for this game, but I don't know. Let's just see with that. Star receiver Garrett Wilson is back, so the Browns secondary must be ready for him, including Denzel Ward and Tyson Campbell.
Yeah.
Look for Grant Delpit to have a big game and try and read what Fields is going to do, especially on pass plays.
There's a guy that's really turned around his career. Grant Delpit, I thought in 22, it had some coverage busts and it didn't look great at times. The last couple seasons, he's been playing really well.
Well, guys, the Jets defense hasn't recorded an interception yet this season, which is surprising to me, especially when Sauce Gardner was there before getting traded, and Jets coach Aaron Glenn being a defensive-minded coach, and he was a star cornerback himself in the league back in his playing days. It's kind of strange because I remember watching highlights, just watching ESPN or NFL Network, and I used to think the Jets would make interceptions. That's hard for me to believe that he hasn't gotten, they haven't even had one yet.
And their defense has been pretty solid the last so many years.
Yeah. You think with the pass rush, eventually maybe a deflection, you would have one. Exactly.
Yeah, you'd think, but keep going.
I expect this to be a bit of a boring game with the Browns trying to run Judkins and the Jets running Hall.
Yeah.
There may be not be a lot of passing yards in this one, guys.
Yeah.
The Jets haven't won back-to-back games since week 2 and 3 of 2024. That's hard to believe, but true. I mean, they can't win two games in a row in a season, Justin Fields hasn't thrown many interceptions recently, but he admits he's been too conservative and not throwing the ball downfield. Does this sound familiar, guys?
Yes.
I feel like the Browns are playing themselves today.
Similarities.
It's like mirror images of each other.
There are unfortunate similarities, Steve.
Yes.
And Dave, don't think this. Whenever when we think, oh, we'll beat the Jets, they're a cupcake or whatever. Don't keep in mind this, guys.
Jets are thinking the same thing.
Jets are thinking. Other teams are thinking the same. I got the Browns. We can beat them. So we can't always think that we're like all tough and this and that.
Got a final score on us for us, Steve?
Oh yeah, it's coming up. The Jets have lost 5 straight home games. The Browns defense should be tough, and with the Jets' recent fire sale, the advantages should go the Browns' way. The Jets haven't been to the playoffs in 14 years, guys.
Wow, we thought it's been a drop for us.
I have the Browns winning 2017 with an improved game with play calling, and the Browns trying to gain a little confidence for the start of the second half of the season. If the Browns were to lose, it'd be closer to the end for Stefanski and Gabriel. I'm going with the win, so let's keep it positive and go Browns.
All right. Well said, Steve. We're going to get to Mr. Dave Greenshield.
Yeah.
Dave, give us your thoughts about the Browns and Jets upcoming matchup here today.
Well, coming off a bye week with an opportunity, I believe the Browns have here. Is this the right call to call this an AFC battle between Aaron Glenn's 1-7 Jets and Kevin Stefanski's 2-6 Browns? I wouldn't call it a battle, but I like Steve's term, battle of the bad, we'll call it. The Browns have lost 12 straight road games going back to last season. That's hard to believe. Their most recent win came in week 2 at Jacksonville last year. Deshaun Watson was a starter in that one, by the way. The Jets are coming off their first win of the season after becoming the 3rd team in franchise history to start 0-7. Aaron Glenn got his first victory with the Jets after being the first coach to begin his tenure with the franchise with 7 straight losses. New York had its bye week last week, but was busy leading up to the NFL's trade deadline by dealing away Sauce Gardner to Indianapolis, Quentin Williams to Dallas, and a few days later they sent their nickel corner, Michael Carter, to Philadelphia. This will offer an opportunity to see a chance to take a look at the new look Tommy Rees offense. I'm with Steve here. I'm a little excited to see what we can do from an offensive standpoint with Rees calling the plays. This is also a chance for Dillon Gabriel to show what he can do in this new offense. 1-3 since taking over as the Browns starter. It's not been pretty. He's averaged 5.4 yards per attempt with a 34.2% completion percentage on downfield passes of at least 10 yards or more. It's not been good. That's the lowest marks amongst qualified quarterbacks. This is an opportunity against a defense that's traded its 2 best defensive players in Williams and Sauce. By the way, this was not a great Jets defense, even with Williams and Sauce. 20th overall, 27th against the run, and the 27th scoring defense. So it wasn't a good defense to begin with, Steve.
God, you would have thought they'd be better with those big names, But...
Yeah, I mean, maybe being on the field too much, with that pathetic offense. I'm going to get to that in a minute. They have gotten solid play out of linebacker Jamian Sherwood, who leads the Jets with 75 tackles. It's going to be interesting to see if the Browns' run game can get going against this one. The encouraging thing for me, Steve, it's the 27th ranked rush defense with Quentin Williams there at defensive tackle. You take him out of the equation, this should be a run defense we should be able to attack. That's where I'm going with that.
Judkins should have quite a few carries today.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if we can make it, if that makes it easier for that interior of the Browns O-line, which I still think has been solid. I think Posick and Treader and the crew have been pretty good for the most part this year, Batonia. It'll be interesting to see if they can open up holes for Judkins on the ground, leading rookies, all rookies with 486 yards rushing, and tied for second in scrimmage TDs with 5. Steve's boy, Cedric Tillman. Steve, president of the Cedric Tillman fan club, is expected to return to the lineup this week after a 4-game stint on the injured reserve with the hamstring. Isaiah Bond was ruled out, by the way. Harold Fannin listed as questionable, but I think he's going to go. Is that what you're hearing, Steve?
I think so, Dave. Harold Fannin should be in there, but yeah, Bond is out. That is true.
Yeah, we went over this, in the offseason, when we reviewed in the bye week about the drops, the lack of yards after catch from this wide receiver group. This needs to be a game where Judy and company against the Jets secondary, it's going to be without their top corner, their nickel corner. It's time, guys. You got to make some plays.
Yeah, we need Judy and Tillman both to have productive games, not just tight ends.
Exactly.
Be predictable.
Exactly. New OC, you got new, it's time for
Get him
Dillon.
involved.
It's time for your guy Dillon to do something this week.
He does.
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah, put up or shut up.
Yeah.
Sling it.
I would add Brandon Stevens, who will step in as the Jets' number 1 corner. My overall question for the new look Rees offense is I just hope, that's the thing to watch for me in this game. Do we see Dillon try and push the ball down the field a little bit more? Do we see more of those, at least intermediate routes?
I feel it'll be intermediate, Dave. Okay. I don't think it's going to be the long bombs. Okay. I just don't see it.
I agree with that. But give me those 15-yard outs.
Yeah. They weren't even doing that.
Yeah. that in-breaking stuff. Right? Exactly.
Dave, do you think that Dillon Gabriel will throw the Jets finally get their interception or two?
Maybe.
I almost wouldn't mind seeing it just to see him throw it down the field.
Yeah, we don't. Let it rip. Let it rip.
But let it rip.
Oh, he did the one in the third quarter against the Patriots at desperation time. He did throw a bomb that ended up being picked. But but the intermediate stuff, I'm with Brent. We need to see that at least. On the underside of the ball, CBS Sports' Matt Zenitz recently reported that the Jets had decided on Fields as a starting quarterback for the Browns. By the way, Fields' interesting stat, Steve, I'm going to throw this out, has no interceptions in his first 7 starts. That's tied for the 6th longest streak to start a season since 1950, according to Stats Perform. The record, by the way, is held by 2 Cleveland Browns quarterbacks. I remember this. Bernie Kosar in 1991. That was Belichick's first year as when he took over as coach. He had a long string without throwing a pick that year. And Milt Plum in 1960 for the Browns. Fields' impressive showing against the Bengals, but what quarterbacks haven't been good against the Bengals defense, by the way, guys? So he completed 66% of his passes for 244 yards and a touchdown. I think his mobility does offer problems for the Browns. That's the one thing about Fields. We were talking about him earlier. That's, I think, the danger is his scrambling ability, maybe broken plays, his ability to run with the football. By the way, this is not exactly 2 high-level passing games. Steve touched on it. By the way, we found a pass offense that's worse than the Browns. The Browns ranked 29th. The Jets are dead last, by the way, with a 32nd.
See, Dave, we're playing each other.
Exactly.
We're both the same team.
Back to your mirrors of each other here. And it's not a good mirror. It's like two
not what you want.
It's not. It's like 2.
They don't want to be us, and we don't want to be them.
I look in the mirror and I see a 3.
I was going to say that.
Oh, you know what's coming, buddy. Oh, another inside joke. Here we go.
That's a key.
Wow. How do you follow that up?
I'm going to try.
Okay. Okay, man. I'm sorry.
The Jets have gotten a solid running game from Brees Hall. One of the better backs. I think he's one of the more underrated backs in the NFL. 581 yards rushing, 5 yards a carry. By the way, he ran for 133 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Bengals. By the way, everybody putting up numbers against the Bengals defense nowadays, by the way. Kind of the key matchup on that side of the ball is Myles Garrett versus the Jets O-line. He's converted 29.4% of those pressures into sacks this season, and has the second most sacks in the NFL with 10. Garrett is lined up on that right edge 78.7% of his defensive snaps this season, which means Jets' second-year left tackle Olu Fashanu will likely see a lot of them on Sunday. So that'll be a key matchup to watch in this one. The other matchup to keep your eyes on in this one is 2 ex-Buckeyes, Garrett Wilson and Denzel Ward. Does Denzel Ward kind of travel with Garrett Wilson on each possession?
Garrett returns from an injury.
From an injury, he's coming back. So, I think that they're kind of hoping he's going to add something to their passing game this week. Him and Justin Fields were a big-time connection at Ohio State for a couple of years.
Sure.
So, this is a game where the Browns defense, it just really, I think, needs to focus on stopping the run. Fields' ability to scramble, Brees Hall on the ground. I think as long as we contain the run, I just can't see the Jets doing much offensively. Is that about right, Steve?
Yeah, I don't see much. They're depending on Hall, the running back mostly.
Yeah, and maybe Fields with some quarterback scrambles as well. Maybe broken plays, too, outside the pocket. Okay, just in conclusion, this is a game that both teams feel that they should get, as Steve touched on earlier. These are 2 struggling offense. This is, again, the Jets are tied for 24th in scoring. The Browns are 30th. Hard to believe, again, we found a passing game worse than ours. I'm trying to be hopeful that Reese can get this offense turned around. The clock is ticking. We're getting near midnight for Gabriel. It's getting there. It's getting there. I'm glad you got a kick out
of the Cinderella and get the slipper, or I don't know. Oh, man.
The Jets defense does appear to have taken the big hits with the trades. This is where I'm going with this. It's really not a great defense to begin with, as I mentioned earlier. I think the Browns can contain the run, Fields and Hall. This should be a good game for Judkins on the ground. I think he'll do some damage. I don't know how much down the field passing we'll get. I'm just saying Dillon plays a typical Dillon game, probably throws for 185 yards, 175
Sounds
yards.
about right.
And then I think they get a good game out of Judkins. The defense does the rest. Maybe we get a couple turnovers. Browns 17, Jets 13.
All right, well said, Dave. All right, we're going to get into our next segment, and that is the game of the week. And we will turn to Mr. Steve Retzer Steve, you gonna win? I'm getting sick of the losing, buddy. Anyway.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know what that feeling is like.
I understand. Yeah,
I don't.
yeah,
I gotta be real
I get
with
it.
you.
Yeah,
I gotta be real with you.
Steve, you gotta get up. You gotta get out of our slump.
I've been taking some tough games, and
Yeah.
they got on this hot streak with the Chiefs beating the Raiders, but it got them
Thank you.
ways.
I took an easy button. I agree.
Didn't Green Shield take the Cuyahoga Falls High School against the?
Yeah, that's next week. I got
Sorry, Dave.
I got that on the docket.
That's what he was doing. He took the. Oh, goodness. All right, Steve, go ahead and get us into it.
For this, guys, I took the Patriots at the Buccaneers. The Patriots, this should be one of the best games of the week, if not the best. I'm labeling it 1 or 2.
Yeah, it's up there.
Best
We got 3 or 4 really good ones this week, by the way.
The Patriots are 7-2, and the Buccaneers are 6-2 going into the game. They both come off of blowout wins as the Patriots smoked the Browns and the Bucs crushed the Saints. They are 2 of the hottest teams in football, and both teams' quarterbacks are having MVP-type seasons.
They're playing great.
That being Drake May and Baker Mayfield.
Who's that Baker Mayfield guy? I've heard that name before.
Pretty good.
Besides the Browns, these are my 2 favorite teams in football.
Wow.
Since local Mike Vrabel took over the Patriots and Baker doing damage in Florida, which is home of my parents and my sister.
Should we
by the way.
stipulate family friend Mike Vrabel?
Yeah.
Whenever we say Mike Vrabel, should we say Retzer family friend here, Brent?
Yeah, they both have access to the baked beans and family reunions.
Yes, they both get discounts at Laconi's.
I know there's a lot of nepotism here, family
I get
connections.
a quarter off iced tea. They get free lasagna.
Yeah,
How's my life?
exactly.
I love it that Vrabel was a Walsh Jesuit high school
He was.
guy,
Yeah.
and he loved the Browns. Actually, the Browns were his favorite team.
Yeah.
Even though he's a great coach in the NFL. Baker is actually 0-2 all time against the Patriots. The Buccaneers have been dealing with injuries all season, and some of the best are out on offense in this one. Mike Evans is still out, as everyone knows that.
Yeah, I wonder if he's done for the year, Steve.
He may be.
That's tough. See, I really like Tampa when this offense is whole. Because, they've had some injuries at wide receiver. Godwin, Emeka missed some games for them. If they lose Evans for the rest of the season, they also, Tristan Wirfs, their best offensive lineman, was out. I was waiting to see this Tampa offense complete. You got to give Baker a lot of credit because he's been working with an offense that's been depleted in a lot of areas this year.
He's had linemen hurt, receivers hurt.
Yes,
and they're
that's
still
right.
winning games.
Yeah.
Some of their guys on defense have gotten hurt, but they're winning football games.
A lot of key injuries there, yeah.
Chris Godwin is out for this one.
There you go.
But they've learned to play without him. He seems like he's always out. Just call him to scratch. Like, oh, Chris Godwin's out, by the way. And that's normal. Running back Bucky Irving is out for this one, which is the most concerning of the 2 injuries, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. See, that was the thing, Steve. If this offense, imagine if Baker had that full complement, though. Irving healthy at running back in the trio, Godwin, Evans, and Emeka.
They haven't been healthy for a few years.
And I think that was probably the rationale behind your Super Bowl pick to start the season, right?
They would have beat the Eagles, too.
Yeah.
They had guys out in the Eagles game. I mean,
you thought that crew would be healthy to make that Super Bowl run that you probably picked.
Yeah, I was expecting Mike Evans to be there.
Yeah, right.
The Bucs have 2 offensive linemen, questionable, with that being Luke Haggard and Luke Godeek. That's not a good sign, but Baker is winning with guys hurt, and the next man is stepping up.
Yeah.
I love how the Bucs have constructed this roster. The backups can play, and they draft great. I mean, wouldn't that be nice?
Dare to dream here in Cleveland, please. Dare to dream.
Rashad White will take the carries at running back, and Baker has Emeka Ibuka, former Ohio State player, to get the ball to, who's been near automatic for Offensive Rookie of the Year, by the way. Wide receiver Tez Johnson, he's been stepping it up with these guys out. Someone had to do it, and he has been.
I liked him coming out of Oregon. I really did. I thought he could be like an under the radar kind of guy.
Yeah. And veteran Sterling Shepard, he can still play, guys. When he's called, he can make numbers happen. The Patriots are under a tremendous 6-game winning streak under Mike Vrabel, and May is putting up historic numbers. They have a stout run defense, giving up a league low in rushing yards per game.
Yeah, that defense has been really good. The Barmore ups in that front's a very good player. They've been better in the front seven than I thought they would be.
Yeah. On paper, New England is one of the hottest teams in football. Running back Ramondre Stevenson is out again, so Travion Henderson should share the carries with the Terrell Williams.
We're back on Travion Henderson watch.
I know.
It's like every week.
He'll get 10 rushes, and Williams will get 8 or whatever,
Exactly.
Drake May has Stephon Diggs and Hunter Henry to throw the ball to. I believe Booty is out for this game.
I like some booty. Pause.
Just not a 3.
Oh, boy.
Anyways, continue, Steve. Carry on now.
With the Bucs coming off their bye week, it's given time for Baker to rest and heal some nagging injuries. The bye gave extra rest in preparation for the Todd Bowles-led defense. The Bucs, with home field and a defense that leads the NFC in fewest points allowed, are masters of disruption. This will be a true test for Drake May.
Yeah, it will be.
Guys.
Yeah.
In this game, both teams have to win through the air. If Baker can protect the ball and utilize his veteran targets against a Patriots secondary that's had some turnover, I think Tampa will move the ball enough to win.
Ooh. I wonder where you're going, Steve. I wonder where you're going here, Steve.
This will be a close, hard-fought game going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Baker should be able to control the clock and hold on till the end. I have the Bucs winning 26-22. Sorry, Mike Vrabel. The win streak will be over.
Wow.
And the experience of Tampa being good no longer will secure the win.
No.
Time to shoot off the cannons. Go Bucs.
Wow. Good.
Well said. I'll tell you what, that was going to be a close one.
Yeah, it is.
I'll tell you, that one could go either way. Boy, Patriots are hot. Yeah, they're hot. They're hot right now.
You didn't take my easy button, Steve.
Yeah.
This is no Raiders Chiefs.
He didn't want to.
Good call, Dave.
Yeah, he didn't want to go. Yeah, no, didn't want to find school. He's kind of, looking for a. Sorry, Dave. Hey, enough. Hey, keep it moving here. All right. All right. Next up, we're gonna get to Mr. Dave Greenshield. Dave, I know you're going to have a more interesting game of the week for us, aren't you?
I think I got
a little more competitive, maybe.
I think I have a really good. I think I have a really good one. I'm gonna.
Okay, it's gonna be good.
I'm gonna go with the Rams and the 49ers.
Oh, he does got one. Okay, good.
Yes,
okay.
I have a rematch of a game between two teams very familiar with each other. The latest chapter in the Kyle Shanahan versus Sean McVay rivalry unfolds Sunday, when the 49ers host the Rams in a crucial NFC West matchup. By the way, Shanahan has the edge, 11-7, including the playoffs, over his friend and former co-worker. McVay got him in that NFC Championship game on that way to winning the Super Bowl in 21. The Rams will be out for revenge after the 49ers took the first meeting in Inglewood, 26-23 in Week 5. Great game, by the way. The 49ers came in as a mash unit into that game and were able to pull out a great win. By the way, some questionable calls by McVay in that game, I think, cost them. The Rams, 6-2, are tied atop the division with the Seattle Seahawks at 6-2 and holding off San Francisco at 6-3. So you can see this is going to be a big one, guys. It's not too much to say that Matthew Stafford is playing at an MVP level. This is the Stafford we saw in 2021 when he led the Rams to the Lombardi Trophy. Over his last 5 games, Stafford has thrown for 16 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Think about that, guys. He's on a tear. He's on a heater. That included a 375-yard, 3-touchdown game against the 49ers. Overall this season, Stafford leads the NFL with 21 passing touchdowns. Jeez. He's having a great year. And he is 5th in the league with 2,147 yards passing. He's been surrounded by one of the best receiving duos in the NFL. We talk a lot about Higgins and Chase. I'm going to put Puka and Devontae Adams right up there with him. By the way, Adams leads the NFL with 8 receiving touchdowns. Nakua should be noted is expected to be just fine for this game after exiting Week 9 with a rib injury. The 49ers are injured on defense. They've been a mash unit. Bosa, Warner, their 2 best players on defense, particularly considering they're the leaders. They'll also be without they're going to be out without the services of them for the rest of the season, by the way. Also, defensive end Michael Williams tore his ACL last week and is out for the season, so that's a 3rd key defensive player. This is still the 10th ranked scoring defense overall. give defensive coordinator Robert Saleh a lot of credit. Yeah, I think he's
Saleh's good.
Yeah, he's a good. He might be one of those guys that's a good coordinator.
He was good with this Jets defense, and
right.
Glenn's not looking as good.
What happened there is the Rodgers experiment just didn't work out. The injury, and then it just did not work. And you know what? He's one of those coaches that might be best as a coordinator and not as a head coach too. The NFL is filled with those folks. You're a good coordinator. I always call it the North Turner effect. I used to say that about North Turner for 800 years. You're a better coordinator than you are a head coach, and maybe that should be your spot.
Example.
Yeah, exactly. So again, the 10th ranked scoring defense overall. So he's doing a solid job. It's going to be interesting to see how much they can affect Matthew Stafford in this one. He threw the ball well against the 49ers. The last two teams they met. The 49ers were able to get key red zone stops. Like I said, I think McVay had they had a bad fumble towards the goal line in that one. And McVay had some bad calls at the end of that one when they had a chance to pull it out late. Some situational play calling that I think he regrets. Running back Kyron Williams has given the Rams a solid running game with 586 yards rushing. He's only top 20 carries this season, so you can see he's not necessarily been a workhorse running back. He's not getting a lot of carries with as good as his passing game has been. It'll be interesting to see how much the Rams commit to the run in this one. This will be a very difficult test for a healthy 49ers defense, let alone one with some key injuries. On the other side of the ball, Brock Purdy, your boy, is still dealing with an injury. He's that toe injury will force him to miss his 6th straight start. He could be available as a backup to Mac Jones. By the way,
I heard he was listed questionable, Dave. So
yeah, could be, but
Shanahan must be liking what Mac Jones is doing.
Well, I'm going to get to that. It's been a revival here. The 49ers have gotten some really solid play out of Jones. He went 33 of 49 for 342 yards passing and 2 touchdowns when they last met. He seems to have a bit of a career revival, like you were talking about, like a Darnold, like a Danny Dimes,
Did Mac Jones and Danny Dimes and Sam Darnold all go to church on Sunday before?
And they sit and drink coffee together and be like, hey, we're going to come out and play this year, boys.
Yeah,
what the heck happened there?
Well, I mean, the New England situation, the Jacksonville situation weren't the best for Mac. I call this the Kyle Shanahan kind of rehab thing, getting into his offense. I think what's really helped him is, with this revival, is having a running back like Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey's 1,222 yards from scrimmage are the most of any player in his first 9 games since 2019. He's having a great year. And by the way, when McCaffrey had 1,385 yards for the Panthers and Dalvin Cook had 1,232 yards for the Vikings. The 49ers exploited the middle of the field in the first matchup. McCaffrey caught 8 passes on 9 targets for 82 yards and a touchdown. He had a big game when they first met. The Rams defense, by the way, has been solid as well. Overall, 10th overall, 11th against the run, 13th against the pass, and the number 2 scoring defense in the NFL, kind of low key. The Rams have allowed 20 points combined in their last 3 games. They have 2 great pass rushers in Brian Young with 9 sacks and Jared Verse with 4 sacks. Verse, as you remember, Steve, was my pick for Defensive Player of the Year at the beginning of the year. I would also watch out on the 49ers for Kendrick Bourne at wide receiver. They've had some injuries there. Ayuk, obviously. They lost Debo in the offseason. He blew up the first time they played. He went for 11 catches for 142 yards in the Week 4 matchup. It's going to be a game where we could see some offensive fireworks, guys, but we have 2 really good defenses as well. This is a good matchup. In conclusion, this has been a highly competitive division, by the way, guys, between these 3 teams. It was an interesting first matchup, and I find the coaching matchup always interesting when Shanahan and McVay get together, by the way. 2 great offensive minds. The 49ers came up with a hard-fought win last time they played, with some, again, questionable calls by McVay at the end. I really feel like the way both offenses look, and credit to the 49ers for staying on track with all their injuries on both sides of the ball. Taking all that into consideration, give me the better QB, the healthier defense. I'm going to take the Rams on the road, 28, 49ers, 23.
Well said, Dave. All right, we're going to get into my game of the week, and I'm going to go with the Eagles and the Packers. If you guys remember at the beginning of the season, I did take the Eagles to go all the way and actually win the championship.
I had the Packers as the NFC representative in the Super Bowl.
So this is the showdown in the NFC side. All right, get ready for a monumental NFC showdown as the rested Eagles, 6-2, fly into Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers, 5-2-1, and a high-stakes rematch. The Eagles, fresh off a bye week and looking to solidify their conference lead, are getting a massive boost with quarterback Jalen Hurts finally fully healthy.
He's looked good for the most part this season.
All systems go for the MVP candidate who has been stellar this season. Hurts' top weapon, A.J. Brown, is also back in the lineup, making this offense whole again. Meanwhile, Green Bay quarterback Jordan Love faces a formidable challenge, aiming to rebound from a tough loss and a history of struggles against the Birds' defense, including 3 interception playoff performance last season. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, real quick. I think this is a big game for Jordan Love.
Oh, huge.
I mean, this is a prove-it game for Jordan Love because, and the Packers for that matter, because the Packers are looking to make that next step as a team. Last year, if you look at them, they beat the teams that they were supposed to beat and lost to the teams that they were supposed to lose to, i.e. the Lions, i.e. the Vikings in their division, Philadelphia. You know, they lost to the teams. So this was the year where they're supposed to make that next step as a team. They went out, they made the big Micah Parsons trade. You're hoping that Jordan Love takes that next step at quarterback. This offense has kind of been inconsistent a lot this whole year. You saw it last week against Carolina when they couldn't even score 20 points
the
at
Packers,
home.
They need to make a statement.
This is a statement.
Yeah, statement game.
They're playing really close.
Yeah,
because they lose the cupcakes, man.
We're not here
they
for
lost to the Browns and Carolina.
No, not playing close. We're not here for moral victory, Steve. They need a real victory.
They need a real victory.
Show that they belong.
Yeah, no doubt. The Packers' offense is also dealing with significant injury questions at wide receiver, making this primetime affair a true test of Green Bay's mettle and a potential statement game for a reloaded Eagles defense. It's a revenge game, a measuring stick, a playoff preview, all rolled into a frosty night in Wisconsin.
Ow.
I know, get a little...
Is that poetic? I like a poetic break.
Dick Enberg would be proud.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a Hallmark card right
It
there.
is. I did watch Lifetime the other day. Anyways, it's another... don't tell anybody. Okay. Man card revoked.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Do you really watch football, or are you watching Lifetime?
I know.
Analyzing and watching.
I know. The secret's out. I'm showing my feelings here, guys. All right, continue. Ultimately, the Eagles' health and their formidable pass rush against a banged-up Packers offense will be the difference maker. That's why I got the Eagles taking this one, 34-24.
Oh, really? Okay. I think I could see the Eagles pulling away in this one. I think Jordan Love's going to have to play really well. The thing about the Eagles is I think they've gotten a little bit healthier on defense. We kind of questioned that defense a little bit earlier in the year. And the big thing for them is have they found that running game again with Saquon Barkley? If they have, wow.
For Green Bay guys, I'm surprised about this. Rashawn Gary actually has more sacks than Micah Parsons.
Well,
Gary,
well,
Gary's looking good.
What I think that's because of Parsons.
Because of Parsons.
Yeah, he's drawing the double teams. Yeah, exactly. That kind of helps.
But usually, like for the Browns example, Myles Garrett still gets it.
That's true.
I'm surprised Parsons just hasn't stepped it up a little more.
But to be fair, Myles has made Alex Wright a little bit more productive of a player too.
True.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to get into our last segment. And that's the bold predictions for this week's game. And we will start with Mr. Dave Greenshield.
Yeah.
Dave, what do you got for this week for us?
Well, I'm going to go bold. I'm going to go with Jared Goff to throw for 5 touchdown passes at Washington. By the way, he did throw for 5 touchdowns earlier this season against the Bears. In week 2, he threw 5 against the Bears in a 52-21 win. This will be a good bounce back game, I think, for both Goff and the Lions offense. They took a tough loss to Minnesota. By the way, your boy JJ finally decided to show up.
JJ's
yes, I know.
Brent.
I told you the whole time.
You guys were with him all the way.
Yeah. I never hesitated.
I am with them. Hey, Dave, 2 touchdown passes, and he runs one too.
Okay.
He doesn't have all the biggest yards.
I know. That
He's a winner.
165
He's a winner.
Hey, Greenshield wants his wager back from about 3 months ago. All right.
He's a winner. That's, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that from Keaton,
That's so good. All right, continue. Oh, so good.
Yeah, so he had a big one against the Bears earlier in the season. Again, a good bounce back game for him and the Lions offense. I might be considering a little wager on this one, guys, by the way. I was looking at the spread on this game. Goff just welcomes a favorable matchup against the Commanders' defense, who've allowed the 4th most TD passes on the season and the most in the last 4 weeks, tied with 11. I like Goff. and the Lions big time in this one. Let's see if I can make it back-to-back bold P's with strong quarterback performances. Last week, Caleb Williams, who lit up that bad Bengals defense. I think this week, Goff lights up a really bad Washington defense.
Yeah. All right, well said, Dave. We're going to get to Mr. Steve Retzer to kind of wrap us up. Steve, got a good bold prediction? One that will actually win this week? Anyways, continue, Steve.
All right, boys. I got the Cardinals at the Seahawks. My bold prediction is that Seahawks wide receiver Rashid Shaheed will score 2 touchdowns in his debut for the Seahawks against the Cardinals and lead his team to a win. Shaheed came from the Saints in a recent trade to make the team better.
Yeah.
The Cardinals will be watching out for JSN, so Shaheed should get open and be ready to make plays, especially with the play of Sam Darnold recently.
This is a team, by the way, I'm warming up to Seattle more and more. I watch them play over the course of the year. Mainly what we're just talking about, Darnold's play, of course. But JSN has developed into one of the better receivers in the league. But imagine if you give him a number 2 receiver to throw the ball to. This could be the guy. They get a little bit of running game going with Walker and Charbonnet. This is a dangerous football team. This is I know I've got a lot the emphasis on this 49ers Rams team, but Seattle's right there.
Oh yeah,
I thought the Shaheed was a great pickup. I mean, that's why I'm choosing this as the bold P.
Yeah.
Former Brown Jacoby Brissett is playing good for the Cardinals.
He's played solid
and he
football.
might be taking Kyler Murray's job day by day. I mean, Murray may be done.
I've always had my doubts about Murray. I've never been a Murray believer. I think he's a little slight, with the frame.
Yeah.
And I know exactly. And, he's had the injury problems, too. And Brissett has been what Brissett has been, just by the way. Serviceable, the ultimate definition of
the Monday Night Football game. He smoked Dallas. I mean, my goodness, Dallas couldn't even play in the game.
The 2 defenses you want to see are Dallas and Cincinnati this year, by the way.
No doubt about it.
At any rate, boys, the Seahawks are just too tough, so go Shaheed, go Hawks.
All right, well said, Steve. All right, we're going to wrap things up here. Before we get to the final thoughts, I'm going to go ahead and get you my prediction of this Browns game.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a close one. I think it won't be too high scoring, but I do think the play calling of Mr. Tommy Reese is going to shake things up. I think Dylan's going to have a decent game. Yeah, there could be some turnovers here and there. I think Dave's about right, about $175 in the passing there for Dylan. Yeah. And the Browns will come out ahead on this one, 24-21. I think the Browns are the better football team.
Yeah, they are.
And I just don't think that unless Dylan gives it up. Right?
I really think the Jets are trying to tank maybe that's too strong a term, but I mean. When you go ahead and you trade your best players on defense, that there's a waving the white flag kind of element to that as a football.
This has Dolphins vibes, doesn't it, guys? A little bit.
And isn't this crazy? The Browns are favorites at another team's stadium.
I know.
Well,
they're the favorite at New York at MetLife.
But see,
the last road win, I gave it earlier.
I think the Bengals easily beat the Jets. If they just got an average defense, that just tells you how bad the Bengals defense is.
How good would the Bengals be sitting right now if they pull out those last 2 wins against the Jets and the Bears? They'd be right there because the division is that much up in the air.
I was telling Steve, Flacco threw a pick at the end of the game. I can't blame him for that. He's getting him points. He's getting them where they need to be. The defense isn't doing anything over there.
Yeah, the Bengals have been playing Big 12 football the last 2 years. I know. It's air raid, it's score a lot, give up a lot. And like I said, last year, Burrow had like 4 games where he scored north of 30 points and they lost. So you're seeing it again this year.
Yeah, just unbelievable. So that's my take on it. I think all of us have the Browns in this one.
All 3 of us have.
So if it doesn't happen, then guys, it tells me the Tommy Reese thing is more like Stefanski, more the same, or maybe he does do well, and Dylan just he's regressing even more.
I will say, as we get into this half of the season coming off the bye, there's some winnable games. Steve's taking a look at the schedule. We get to Tennessee down the road, Raiders. There are winnable games in this after the bye week here. So this is one of them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, guys, let's get some final thoughts, and we'll wrap it up.
Well, you know what? I'm excited to have football back. Excited to have the Browns back. I think we're going to see this week what the new look offense looks like. I'm optimistic we get a win today, and I'm excited about some of the other games we've got on the NFL schedule. I think it's a good week for football.
Steve, you're going to get back on the winning ways. I just got this feeling.
I got to get back to winning, so that'll be good. I'm glad the Browns are back off that bye week and have a winnable football game. I'm ready to watch football, boys.
Yeah, football is definitely in the air. Browns are back.
I'm looking to keep a 4-game winning streak going, by the way.
I know, Dave. We knew you had this. I know.
I had to throw that out there. Maybe a little
and you're being a little more competitive this week.
Well, exactly. Thank you.
Anyways, that's enough on that. Anyways, all right, guys. Well said. Have a good one. Take care.